Hello, I'm 187 and this is the 187 Said podcast. Today we're going to speak to a man about his experiences or his view of what it is to be a man. Specifically, he's talking about what it is to be a parent, probably touching slightly on the things that were lacking in his childhood.
Should a man be? Um, Put me on the spot. I don't know. What should a man want? What do I aspire to be? Um, I guess. I guess for me, it's just for my boys. What do I want to be? And I want to be alive to start with. So the things I try to do. I tried to apologise. Um, I was, like situations arise, and if I think I've made a mistake, I'll always go in and apologise. I am so just I guess to show that it's not about being sort of things that happened in my childhood. I was kind of told how it was. I try not to be that person. I try to what else do I try and do? Kind of overtly things I do. I try to stay fit and healthy. I think that's really important to me. I guess so, as they grow up, so I'm still around. Um, I am. I try and sort of have like I'm a teacher, so I sort of have this kind of teach them the best way to do things. So social media has been a big sort of issue for the older one.
Yeah.
Try to sort of teach him, sort of give him free rein to a point, but then we've got quite a few instances where we've had to sort of take take the phone and everything off him and all this sort of thing. So sort of try and guide him in the right direction and have sort of open and honest discussions. Quite difficult with children because actually when they quite often don't want to talk about what you want to talk about. They quite happily sort of just uh, ignore the elephant in the room and try and steer the conversation away from somebody they might find difficult. Um, I deliberately go and tell them that I love them, like repeatedly in a quite an annoying sort of dad sort of way, and in a way again that happened very infrequently to me. I'm trying to sort of give them stability to just to try and uh, stability. Yeah, difficult coming off on the cuff. But I'm just thinking of all the things that I've done, all the things that I've done that I've been, as you have children, and that's what I'm you saying. What it's like to be a man? This is all I know. This is all about my kids, but actually, that's what I've based. Being a man is who you are, isn't it? And from your childhood, and then having children has just made me relive my childhood. And these are the things that I've sort of become aware of that actually didn't happen, and I've tried to make them happen. And I think, so I guess what I'm saying, listening to myself, I guess I'm saying that being a man is passing on to your sons how so they're rounded human individuals. In our house as well, it's a bit, I don't know how it is in anybody else's house, but in our house, I do all the cooking um, to an extent. I'm sort of in charge of most of the cleaning. Sort of the domestic kind of duties are, are mixed in. I think also like it's been for me recently. It's been quite tough. I've had some small sort of bits of sort of depression, mild depression, but it's been there. And I think probably as a result of just trying to do too much, take on too much, as part of being my job and trying to get all this fatherhood thing right.
Yeah.
So I think yeah.
it sounds like that you're sort of challenging yourself to be, like you say, the sort of pass on the best messages you can to your kid.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, absolutely, yeah,
and,
totally, yeah.
and you're saying that this is probably a result of you seeing what was missing for you growing up.
Yeah, and I would never have overtly noticed that as I was growing up. I didn't notice those things were missing, but actually, you know, I could see myself just replicating how it was for me, and then so you think, well, hang on a minute, that ain't right. I shouldn't be behaving like this.
So
Yeah.
when you talk about this sort of behaving like this, what sort of things are you talking about?
I guess wanting to be the boss, shouting to get your own way. I'm not saying I've done much of that, but you could see yourself going down that route, and just I've got very supportive partner, and I can see how she is. I mean, she hardly ever said to me, "Oh, you shouldn't do that," but I can see she's like the total opposite of me. So in terms of sort of discipline, in terms of the way she is it's really, really giving. And I look at her and I look at me and I think, well, hang on, that's better than what I'm doing. So I can sort of self-police myself in a way, to sort of before I've done too much damage. I think if it was just me here, it would be an entirely different situation. I just would have just gone down the same route and replicated what I had as a kid.
What sort of impact then would that have on you being as growing up? Did you see any sort of emotional, psychological kind of challenges growing up?
But what it's fostered in me, and I can see it, is that I'm like fiercely independent to a fault. Really kind of find it difficult to seek help. I just everything I've got on my own. I left home when I was able to. When I was 16 years old, I left, and that was it. After that, everything I did was down to me, and I think stood me in good stead in lots of ways. I've sort of managed to sort of carry on and meet challenges head on and all that sort of thing. But I do think sort of seeking help and all that sort of thing is quite a difficult thing.
Yeah.
And that's my wife's just come in. I'm doing a podcasting call. She's gone again. There you go. Yeah, I think I mean, I fostered that in my kids as well. A level of independence. Trying to, I think it's actually a good thing to have initiative and have independence. But sometimes, sometimes you just have to accept help.
And is that easy for you now?
Oh yeah. I think it's not that I'll happily have help from people, but you've got to realize that you can even ask for it to start with, haven't you? To that position where you go, maybe because you just ask somebody to give us a hand here. But the benefit of not asking help is when you do something, it's yours. So I've spent a lot of time exercising. Spent all the time riding bikes. I've done some fairly sort of extreme things. Really, it's been great. But like people say to me, "Oh, you're amazing! You're going to do these sort of 50-hour mountain bike rides." But I think, well, no, actually, I just decided to do it. I just went and did it. There's nothing special about me. I just, I think, well, I'm gonna do that now, and going off and doing it. And it's just a pity I can't. It sounds like you could kind of do the same thing with like creative ideas as I do with sort of slightly less useful and more pointless, arbitrary kind of physical tasks I set myself. I thought that, and I was 50 last year, so I've never done the 15 peaks, which is you can walk the whole of the peaks over 3,000 feet in the snow dome in a water. So I was thought, I'd quite like to do that. And then so 2 months later, I went and did it. I just sort of decided I was going to do it and did it. And so that's the kind of thing, isn't it? Sort of independent streak of
Sounds like just do it and not biting into the doubt that probably I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm cherry picking slightly because there's plenty of other things where I'm full of doubt. But I'm just because I don't think I've got the capacity to do things. Other people say, "I'm sure you can do that." I think I can't do that. It's too difficult.
When you discount something, even an event or relationship or just the way of, when you make a decision to do something, are you quite objective?
I think I am. I'm told I'm not. I'm told that you're being you're selling yourself short and all that sort of thing. I don't think I am. I think I'm actually being realistic.
Right.
And maybe I understand my own capabilities better than other people. People see me as being slightly better than I am.
Yeah.
And in some way, if someone take things on, you've got to then do them, haven't you? And so it's yeah. So I guess that would be up for debate, wouldn't it? And there's a big difference between doing completing a new job, or whatever, a new role in the job, be able to do it, and be able to do it in a way that is anyway pleasurable for me to do. People who say, "Well, you can do that." Well, I can do it, but actually, I'll be miserable if I do that. I want to be miserable.
So for you, then, being happy with things or comfortable with things is quite important.
Yeah. I find them because I think I tend to throw myself into things. Well, mostly because they're mum. I guess there are loads of sort of clubs and activities in a way that I never have done in my life. I've had 2 driving lessons and one. one. I mean, I say this, but then this might be a total lie. As far as I remember, like learning to do things, 2 driving lessons and 1 snowboarding lesson once. I don't ever remember getting any other lessons. I did go to judo for about 6 months or something. They've had millions of lessons. Like the odd occasions, I'll go, "Oh, do you want to go tonight? Can I sit and watch TV instead?" And what I've said to them, I said, "Look, it's up to you whether you do these things or not. But if you said you're going to do it, you've got to go." And that's been my default position, and I've had to fight quite hard, to make sure that if they're either doing it or they're not doing it. I don't mind which.
Yes.
But you don't just start something and then give it up straight away. You don't start something and say you're going to be there and don't turn up. You commit to it and do it. And then if you 2 months down the line you think, "No, I really don't want to do this," then fair enough, stop. Flogging yourself, but got to commit to it properly. And then mostly it's okay, but giving up on it. But as a consequence, there's the big one is now like some sort of heavy metal drummer, bass player, and the skill that get up to black belt is karate. It kind of to try and teach them, it does pay off to stick with things. And it's hard to know what's them. It just is them, and there's nothing to do with me. Just genetics, how they sort of chance, and how much of it is me going like, "No, just stick at it, and then decide later, if you're going to stop. You can't just say I'm stopping." I think that works for anything, isn't it? I think you just do it, or don't do it. Up to you, but worse than we work with somebody who just really doesn't really care about what they're doing. When I'm in school, I kind of might be things I don't like teaching particularly, but I'm going to try and do my best to do to present it all in a fun and a way that they're going to sort of learn something. Do your best to, each time, whatever that might be.
We're going to take a bit of a left turn here. How have you got to the point where you need to relate to them in a more emotional way?
I suppose. Well, I mean, it wasn't obvious to me that's what had happened until I was much older. I kind of knew, but so the background is that when I was 7, my biological father died, and there was then 2 other men who both came with their emotional burdens themselves, and one of them I didn't see, who was a bit more emotionally connected, and the one that I did see, he was not a nice guy and everything, but in later years, he's much nicer, I think. But actually, there's never, it was always made clear that I wasn't, you know, biologically related. And anyway, I don't know if he had the capacity to sort of be demonstrative. There was certainly, I mean, Mum was saying that Mum would always support me and she loved me and all that sort of thing. But actually, at the end of the day, she was particularly, I think maybe it came from me a lot of it. Didn't ever make that sort of connection of like hugs and what it is you got older, all that sort of thing. So when I got hugs from my kids, I kind of didn't know what to do with them. So I found it quite challenging, sort of, even when they were little. You know, I was thinking, I'll cope with this, and then I realised what it was. You know, it was just that I wasn't used to it. So since then, I've made like a deliberate effort to you know, the older one's 14 now, and the other day he was a bit upset because something had happened, and just really tired. Like, and I was able to. He came over and he sort of put his head on my shoulder, and I gave him a big hug, and he was there for a couple of minutes talking to him. He was sort of slumped on me, and obviously, he's 14 years old, so he's obviously is able to express that sort of emotionality to me, his dad, and I'm a man, and so I would never be able to do that. I still probably couldn't do it now. I don't think. In fact, it's found it much easier with women. That's to sort of become be emotionally open with women and with men. I'm still quite closed emotionally, but hopefully I've managed to foster that in my children. You know, yeah, I sort of deliberately tell them I love you, and so on.
Sounds very important to you to make sure that they have this tactile, emotional.
Yeah, I think it really helps, doesn't it? You know, because you then gives you sort of a load of skill set. You're able to sort of deal with things a bit better. It's something, you know, I'm not brilliant at it. I'm trying to learn it, to sort of be in touch with actually my emotions in some sort of way. It's very easy to not think about it, and there's lots of time thinking. I think I'm somebody who lives quite a lot of their life in their head, and quite often don't tell anybody about it as well. You know, sort of. But hopefully by doing that, my kids won't be so like that. Because I don't think it's quite good to be a person who thinks about stuff. You know, spend a lot of time not just living in the here and now, but actually sort of analyse what's going on. But actually, I think it's also then good to sort of get it a bit, you know, more minded. I think.
Moving on from that, then, if we're talking sort of 40 years from now, hoping that they would have?
I guess sense of fairness, fair, being nice to people, being nice to nature, and you know, I think those sort of that whatever happens in life, that they say, well, I did try, I did my best, you know, that sort of trying, and then, you know, but also like that they've I guess more than anything else, I just hope they're happy. I just want them to be happy.
Just to round things up, I would always ask people to give maybe another dad or another man a bit of advice in regard to looking after themselves and others. Really, is there anything you'd like to pass on?
So I don't think I've got any sage advice. I just think you just need to think about it. You know, think about it. Listen to people around you. Listen to yourself. Think about your childhood. Think about your children, how they're turning out. Yeah. Don't be too reactive. Don't expect too much of them. Just realize they're human beings and just think about it all. And I think if you do that, you come up with some ideas. When you don't think about it, it's when you just do what your parents did and do what other people told you, or you overreact. That happens to us all, I'm sure. We overreact to something and think about it afterwards and think, okay, all right, okay, what would be the best thing to do now? Try and be analytical. I think that's what I would do. I think.
So thank you for listening to this episode, and I hope you found it informative, at least enough to encourage you to share your lived experience or ideas around fatherhood or parenthood even, and hopefully even talk about your experiences growing up. So feel free to get in touch via all of our socials. And other than that, please be good to yourself, be good to others. Until next time, take care.